Hello and welcome to the EyeC Demo Center. My name's Ralph and today I'm going to walk you through a demonstration of the 600DT Proofiler 600DT scanner. It's part of the small format scanners in the DT line, including the 300DT and the 400DT. In this case, we're using the 600 with an A2 size maximum capability. We're going to focus today on an incoming inspection demonstration. That means you are using the product to inspect a number of incoming goods for release into production. In this case, pharmaceutical packaging material, cartons. On these cartons is Braille as well as 1D and 2D codes. And we're going to show you how we can scan and verify the codes and the Braille as well as the artwork all in one scan. So the first start of the process is to lay the cartons on the scanner. They can be laid in practically any manner as long as they're a few degrees from the same angle. They can be scanned and the software can manage that. Once you've laid them on the screen, you can select the proper parameter set. In this case, we've got multiple parameter sets, one of them being fold and carting with Braille. We're going to select that one because we're going to do the Braille proofing at the same time. Once my parameter set is chosen, I can then scan the production sample. This will begin the scan process. Once the scanning begins, the next part of the process is to load your customer proof. So I'll click on the Load Customer Proof Sample. In this case, it's requesting me for an order number, an article number, and as you can see on the screen, also we can choose the Braille language. That means the Braille can be decoded in multiple languages, so you can choose the correct one so it will be read correctly. To load the order number and article number, I'm going to use a scanning process similar to a job traveler, which will make it much simpler for your operators and much quicker. Also reduces typing errors. So once those are selected, I hit OK, and now it'll load those proofs. Here you can see the PDF. We've done an automatic layer separation, which means I can see an artwork layer, I can see the Braille layer, and I can also see the cut line. This information is used as part of the scan. As an example, the cut line obviously is printed in this layer, but because we put it as a technical layer, as a cut line, we won't expect to see that on the actual artwork, so it will be ignored. And you'll see that in the proof. So once that is all ready, I can apply these settings, and I can start my examination. So you can see in the image as well from the PDF, it's already found the locations where the barcodes are. And the 2D codes and 1D codes, and it will automatically search for those and then examine them as part of the examination. So you can see it's beginning the scan process now. On the right side of the screen, you get the two images. You get the PDF, which is the correct proof, and then you get the actual scanned image. And wherever there is a difference between the two, it'll show up on the screen. On the left side, you get your scanned surface, which can tell you exactly which carton and what part of it the failure is on. So you can see I've got a crosshatch here now on the first failure, and the first defect found is a color mismatch. And you can see this is clearly a color mismatch that we did not want to have. So I will mark that as a defect. Here we see again a very small defect, or it could be a paper, a small fleck in the paper, or it could be a print, but it's in an area I don't really care about, and I'm going to accept that as okay. Here we see a small error on the outside on the edge, which is probably a registration error, which is also okay. Here's where it's very interesting for customers using multiple languages and multiple text. In this example, you can see a broken piece of the Arabic carrier. And also on this second defect, you can also see a small piece. If you In this example, you can see a very important aspect of the Proofiler scanning. It uses a very high resolution, 600 dpi scan resolution, which means it can pick up very small areas. Also, what is interesting is it is really not relevant what type of language or what type of text is used, because it's a pixel by pixel comparison. In this case, I'm going to turn on my toggle, which will then toggle between the actual PDF and the actual scan. And you can see that's clearly a defect I don't want, even though I can't read what it says. Now we've moved over to even smaller defect here in the Chinese characters, which could be very relevant for someone who can read this text. So again, I will declare that as a actual defect. Now here's a defect that shows up on the glue flap. This is just the numbering. That's obviously okay. If I have multiple samples and have the same defect in each position, I can actually use the control key and accept them all at once. Here's also a registration error, which I don't want. And this can just be a single defect that in this case I feel is not a repeated error. It's a single, and I'm going to accept it. Again, a small flick. In this case, I think that is a print defect. I'm going to reject it. And again, the flap error. Now, as you can see, we've finished the evaluation now, and we've accepted or rejected all of the defects. We also have the opportunity to go look at, for instance, our Braille. And this is an example of the Braille that was read. It decoded it because we chose the English language. There was a failure because it was missing the last character. So it was saying Proofiler, Proofile instead of Proofiler. And in that case, it was rejected. You also get a full display of each of the dots, what height they were, and whether they were conform or not. And it also gives you some confidence value on each one. So as you can see, this is a full ISO 17351 measurement, and can be used directly in your pharmaceutical reports. Similarly, with our data matrix and barcode, I'll do a barcode as an example. We give both the CN and the traditional evaluation. In this case, we've asked for a minimal level of 4. It passed as a grade A4 with no failures. And with this traditional, you also get the sample contrast curve, which can give you good information about what's happening in your print process as well. Similarly, for your data matrix code, you get a full evaluation. Once you've finished your scan and your evaluation, you can ask for the report to be sent. The report will be generated. As you can see on the screen, we can have a complete farmer report or different levels report. Those can be selected either on the screen or pre-selected. In this case, you see that we have all the information about how the system was set up, what kind of codes we wanted to, what grade we wanted to approve, what type of codes we had, what languages we're using, as well as all the information about how the settings we used for the graphic defect detection. Farther down, there is an opportunity to make a comment here. If you reject the complete batch, or if we accept it, as well as the signature. What you get next is a copy of the PDF that was used for the scan, as well as the complete scan. And then you begin to see all of the accepted and defected errors. So in this case, this was an error we rejected, so that you have a full traceability back to what was rejected, why it was rejected. There's also the opportunity, while you're doing the analysis, to add in comments for each of the samples if you wish. So once we've gone through the complete report, you also can see that we have the barcode grading on each one, as well as the failure, why it was failed, so that your quality department can look back on the sample and feed the information back to the print house. Or if you're using it as outgoing inspection for your own printing, you can feed it back to your production. Once I'm finished, I click button and I go right back to the start. That allows me to start my second scan. Thank you for taking the time to look at this demo. If you have any questions or you need further information on the product or would like to send us some of your own samples for examination, feel free to contact us either through our website where our phone number is available, or you can simply click on ask for a demo and someone will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you. Have a good day.